I'm trying yet a new thing. You know, it keeps changing, and that's where, well, somebody with my style has some issues to contend with. There are advantages. Well, I think that's one of the things, you know, for all of us. We are who we are. Let me just, oh, I'm sorry. Get this really well put together. We are who we are. There are things that we're just crappy at. And that maybe we can work on things. I think if there's nothing else that I would like to share with the world is my faith that it is possible to deal with those things that are a problem, that we're crappy about. I mean, to get better at it. It really is possible. And if I were to look at my overall, you know, my balance sheet, you know, things that I do well, things that I do badly, and all that stuff in the middle, there's still a whole crapload of things that I still do badly. Some of which I've made no progress on, some of which I've actually made a fair amount of progress, but I have such a long way to go. I mean, I'm a fundamentally anti-organized person. I mean, I have something deep in me that says, do not be organized. And actually, I don't do too badly. I actually am somewhat organized. But it's been hard. It's a real struggle, and I'll never be organized like, say, my wife, who's just great at that stuff. So, but, and this I think is, yeah, the first corollary to, you know, Marcel's law of, you know, yes you can. Yes, we can. Yes. You know, we can improve in those areas that we're not so good at. Sometimes we can make really big changes, but sometimes a small change can be a big change, can result in a fundamentally better outcome. Just little tweaks. That's why we talk about cognitive enhancement. Habit enhancement instead of habit change. We do want to change our habits, bad habits, but we can't just drop the stuff we don't want. It's there. There's a neurological basis that keeps it there, that says, this is it. You're here. You know, this is the way you do things. Certain situations arise, and this is the way you have responded over and over and over again. And if you are able to consciously, well, first of all, recognize that this is that kind of situation, and B, say to yourself, oh, wait, this time I want to do something different. Which we absolutely have the ability to do that, except if we're smack in the middle of doing something else and there's all sorts of things happening, we're likely not to do that. We're likely to take the default, which is really what habits are, the default response that just, again, got developed pretty often very early in our lives, and the more we live, the more consolidated the path between, you know, stimulus X and response Y. Excuse me for mussing with my hair. I mean, I become like a lot of females. Well, I spend a lot of time looking at myself. I could say it's because I need to, but it's really just because I'm vain and I'm in love with more the sound of my voice than anything else. I mean, well, you know, that's smooth talking. Oh, sorry. I need to throw this away. And no, okay, so this is what's going on. Now I realize. No, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. I realize that I would like to be able to see the time. That's important. I don't want to go on forever, but more importantly than that is I don't want to, oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing as much to myself as I am to you. I mean, to you, I'm apologizing because I'm going on and I'm probably difficult to follow. But to myself, to say, well, the same reason. Wait, you're getting yourself too hung up on this particular thing. You're overthinking it. Yes, I do that all the time. And if I can remind myself, I can stop. So, I would just like to see if this is still at 31 minutes remaining. This is ridiculous. You know, you have to think, what is this all about? It's been 31 minutes for the last hour, I think. So, the question is, do I cancel it? Or do I say, someday? Well, I don't know. I kind of think that at this point it's time to cancel it. And just say, you know, look, there's something wrong. Yes, I really want to cancel this upload. And I'm going to do it again. Oh, but there's another one. Don't I want to do another one now? Why don't I do one that I know? 218. Oh, wait a minute. Well, that's a real short one. Yeah, this 207 is real. What about 206? Oh, 206 is the one that I'm having a hard time with. So, this one. It's long. It's 21 minutes long. That, I wonder if that has something to do with it. Problem. Okay. The next one's it's less than a minute long. Okay. I think I want to go to the next one, 208, and I want to see 208. Oh, that's this one, 208, and that's 7 minutes long. And I think I've decided, well, oh, there's nothing wrong here. See, I'm showing my life. And, you know, it could be pretty boring, you know. Long periods. But there are a couple of ways of looking at that. And at this point, the idea is to have this kind of radio going on, you know. Real life TV or radio, where people can tune in at any time and say, what's going on with that guy, you know? He gets himself into some juicy situations from time to time, and he's always got this camera going, and, you know, at first, you know, when he first started telling the story, it was all inside his house, and he's, you know, blah, 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 about the computers, and this and that, this is how Paratr's net works, and blah, blah, blah. But over time, when he got his camera person, and I'm talking to you, well, you, wait, sorry, anybody, I'm saying, you know what, I need a camera person, or people, and to follow me around with a camera. It was really easy. I mean, you have to be physically fit, because I move a lot, and you have to be willing to go where no. And I'll tell you, I'll just promise you something. We won't get ourselves arrested. That's one thing. It's happened close. I mean, well, I did get myself arrested. Actually, that was long before, and I didn't have a camera. That was a couple years ago. It was because I was dancing. Dancing. On the platform. The subway station is 1 a.m. On a Friday night, Saturday morning. I had finished. No problem. And this moron cop comes along and, oh, I'm not up for it. Sorry. I'll tell you. I mean, it was a lot. Interesting story. I mean, hey, I spent a night in jail. The 2 jails, like, you know, the pen, you know, the one in the station by myself. But then the real interesting part, that was the next part, when there were, you know, hundreds of people all around. I had to sleep on the floor. There's a toilet with no toilet paper. No toilet paper. And I don't think the sink even worked. So the idea, I mean, I actually did sit on the pot, because I think I thought I had to take a crap, and I think I found enough paper lying around that I could wipe my ass. And this was in an open pen with, you know, 30 other people or more, 50, whatever. I don't know. Crap all over the floor, no place to sit. What fun. Yeah, needless to say, I mean, of course, I got arrested for resisting arrest. How about that? Think about that one. How does that happen? Not for resisting arrest for something. I was just being arrested for nothing. And I said, no, I don't want to go. What are you doing? And I got beaten up. Not terribly, but boy, there's some bruises. I have pictures of them, bruises around my legs because I was holding on to the pole in the subway as this guy was yanking me away. My glasses got smashed. Yeah, they're gone. They were gone. They're completely gone. Not just smashed. A woman gave the cop my glasses. They were gone. They just disappeared. No glasses. No, of course not. He stole the SD card out of my... I happen to have an older version, and well, same thing, but an older one of this. And right here, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there's a door for an SD card. And he broke the door, and he took the SD card because he knew that it had the evidence that would lose him his job. And well, I handled it incorrectly. Now, next time if it happens, it'll be planned. Then I'll have my, you might be on my team. I'll make sure there's a lawyer, and we really plan it out right, and we, make a big deal of it. Make sure that the media knows that this kind of thing goes on. And I happen to be an older white guy, but this kind of stuff goes on with young black kids all the time. I mean, this pen that I was in with 50 guys, I mean, most of them were just young black, all black. And, and people just being, you put your feet up on the seat at 3 a.m. when there's nobody. I mean, okay, you shouldn't have your foot on the seat. Okay. Get off. That's all. No, you're going to jail. Spend the night in jail because you put your foot up on a seat. That's the way they do it. And then they got your fingerprints and they got your eye prints. My eyes are like in the National Security Center to, in case any sort of terrorist activity happens, they can check my eyes to see if I was involved in it. Anyway, I am not the most get down to work type person. Well, I have a lot to say, and everything. Hey, that's what this is all about. Oh, frickin' life! I've been thinking, there's something I have to say. I don't know what it is, but there's something I know, and now I do know. I mean, it's a body of work that has to do with. That came out of going back to school for a degree in occupational therapy, realizing that this thing called occupational therapy is basically a Western version of what yoga is. I mean, that's a little simplification, and I don't want to be really nailed down to exactly what I mean, but sort of loosely speaking, it's of that nature. In other words, it's a mind-body. Just as yoga is mind-body, its focus is on that nexus, the mind-body. Well, occupational therapy does too. And it's a much more Western approach, much more medically based. And I learned a lot in that program, and I combined it with what I was also learning about my body and yoga. Well, well, never mind, I'm going on and on too much. But the point is, this started back in about 2006. I would say what I'm talking about now started in 2006. Really, there was a major thing that happened in 2009, which is the beginning of recording. Although I didn't begin with this one. I began with, it's nice that I happen to have it right here. I haven't used it in years. This is from my Museum of Ancient Technology, the Palm Trio. I know there's not enough light, is there? But anyway, it's you can see it's ancient. But it was very modern at the time, and I used it to record. I recorded hundreds of gigabytes onto that because it was using wave recording, so a lot more than what I'm doing now, which are MP3 recordings. So anyway, I'm getting back. So I'm going to stop this and start the next one right away, because you're seeing what I'm doing. And I'm realizing that right now I've got all these thoughts and blah, 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 blah. And I guess I'm a little concerned that I might be boring the living piss out of you. And maybe I am. But that's the kind of feedback I can get from you. And I'm asking for feedback. Really, I very much appreciate it. So let me know.